Hey everyone, and welcome to the fourth installment of Can You Beat Isaac with only items of the same quality. Today we're featuring quality 1 items. We've been through this challenge 3 times already on the channel in the last 3 weeks. If you want to see the previous episodes, they're going to be linked in the video description. But for the first time viewers among you, here's a quick recap of what this challenge is about. Items in the Binding of Isaac are grouped into rarity tiers referred to as item quality. Item quality ranges from 0, the worst items in the game, to quality 4, which are the best items in the game.
Over the last 3 Mondays, we proved that you can in fact beat the game with items of quality 4 through 2, which are among the best items in the game and honestly pretty solid. This week, it's getting a bit spicier. We've moved on to quality 1, and at quality 1 we're served with stuff like latch keys, which are really just basic lockups and a few keys. Finding a library early on felt pretty solid because at least the books get rerolled because they are higher quality than 1, but as you can see, all we've gotten served with here was a spider butt. Even shops, although they seem promising, are going to be a very sparse source of resources for us here, because the lone damage up in this challenge is going to be Charm of the Vampire. Another item that I thought seemed promising before I started this run was actually going to be Libra. Libra constantly balances out the stats in your run, so if you get other stat ups such as speed or range, that's also going to be positively affecting your damage stat. Now, as you can see, the start of this challenge actually went pretty smooth, and we even got some value out of that spider butt we found in the library immediately, because every time that item kills an enemy, we're gonna get some blue spiders out of it. Every enemy in the basement is pretty low health, so it's easy to get those kills. Obviously, these stages are still assigned to be doable with base damage, so there's not really many problems here, and for our crowning jewel of Basement 1, we even got to witness some spider on spider violence here. Our boss room, now void of most stat ups, drops us another useless space use item. I wonder if that's gonna be a trend. And with that, we make our way to Basement 2 and hope there's something better in store for us than on Basement 1. Well, son of a... So after being oh so cruelly reminded of the reality of this challenge, we make our way to the item room, and just after that, the boss of the stage, who actually made a pretty good attempt at getting away from our blue flies, but nobody escapes them at the end. We do get hit for damage on the boss fight, taking some red heart damage, meaning our devil deal chance dropped to 1%. However, I decided pretty early on in the run that I wasn't going to care about that, because with quality 1 items, I don't think there's very many of them that I would be willing to pay a heart for anyway. We take one last detour to the store of the floor and actually get met by gigantic disappointment. Candy heart? Oh, I can't get that, dude. That would be so strong. So yeah, there was actually another way I could have increased my stats, but it's gone now. On caves, things finally start to get tricky. Enemies start having much bigger HP pools, looking at you fat spiders, and there's just more enemies in general in small rooms. So with rising health pools, more enemies charging at me at once, and my damage being pretty much permanently stuck at 3.5, things are starting to get a lot trickier. Seeing as this is only caves and the rooms are just going to get worse over the time, it becomes pretty clear pretty quickly that we're going to need something to make the run significantly better if we want to have a chance at beating this challenge. Now, I don't know if that thing I needed was really Thunder Thighs, but I figured I'd give it a shot anyway, because it's a health up, and health is going to be very important in this challenge. And while that might seem like a super obvious thing to say, I do think it's important to emphasize, because especially in a video game like Isaac, where most of your runs are decided by the sheer power of your build, in a challenge like this where you can't even build up damage, simply being able to outlast your bosses is going to be super valuable. Hollowed Ground is another one of those items that seemed really promising, because it's actually a way to increase my DPS, and it actually came in pretty handy at the end of what was an almost 2-minute boss fight. Yep, 2 minutes for a bunch of cards. So after weighing my options a bit in the devil deal and deciding that yes, in fact, I do not care about any of these items, and after deciding that I also do not care about any of the cards dropped by the starter deck, I just head on to Catacombs 2 and decide to use my world card immediately to get a bit of an informational advantage and make room for a hopefully better card that's gonna drop for me in the future. I head straight to the store in hopes of finding Greed, since I do want some money, and I get lucky and do find Greed. Greed gives me a bit of a hard time, but with the help of the poop, we can actually take him out no problem. And since he can't give us the quarter, we find a eye drops. After Greed, we encounter possibly the most annoying room in the history of low damage runs, and after making swift work 45 seconds. Of this room, we make our way to the item room. Now that I had seen useless spacebar item number 69, I decided to move forward towards the boss, but I actually fall dangerously low on health. So I decided it was time for shenanigans to try and keep me alive. Unfortunately, the shenanigans were really limited because we only got a 3 dice room, which only rerolls the pickups in the room, but at least we get back to 2 HP. Rag Mega was possibly the worst caves boss I could have encountered because of his summons and his constant purple balls coming at me, but luckily we still had a bomb in tow, which allowed us to make quick work of it and pick up a vanilla wooden spoon. There's also a lesson here if you're possibly a newcomer to the game. If you ever find yourself stuck with a low damage build, save your bombs for the bosses. They do 100 points of damage and they are true lifesavers against these damage sponges. Anyway, after Reg Mega, I felt like we definitely didn't have enough to tackle depths, and since I was left with exactly 2 hearts, a curse room and a boss challenge room right next to each other, I felt like, hey, this is perfect. So after taking on possibly the 3rd most annoying room for this build, I go into the curse room and I find truly the MVP of this run. Actually, we have mom's heals that could be useful. And boy, oh boy, was that useful. So after realizing I'm an idiot because I just screwed myself out of the boss challenge room, I decided it's time to head to Depths 1. Necro 1 starts out by giving us the worst rooms possible for this unicorn stump, but after we get through those, we actually very quickly realize just how good this unicorn stump here is. Alright, that helped. I feel like, I mean, one of the main things I had in mind when I picked up Thunder Thighs was depths. So I feel like if Thunder Thighs are going to provide us any massive amount of value, then it will be here. It will be here because we can destroy all these skulls for free and get a bunch of cards. Wow. Tears down? Yeah, fantastic. Kick a man while he's down game. So honestly, after this tears down pill, I figure, alright, that's it. This is over. There's no way I can win this. Not only am I not on base damage anymore, but now I'm actually below base damage in depth. But wait, the item room actually provides me a ghost baby. Base damage familiars are usually not the most exciting finds in the depths, but since I'm actually below base damage, this ghost baby essentially doubles my DPS. And not only did we get this ghost baby, but we also find a health up. And just like that, this run actually looks like it has a chance again. Our store provides us useless space use item number 420. And after unicorn stomping our way through the entire rest of the floor with ease, we get another stroke of good luck because we encounter Loki. Loki is far and away the easiest boss on the depths, and despite what that holy poop on the floor suggests, we shouldn't actually be taking any damage here. Loki goes down with relative ease and provides us with another health up, and I know I've said it before, but I cannot stress enough just how strong HP was in this challenge, so I am at this point thrilled to see such a massive health pool accompanying me to Depths 2. Depths 2 was probably the most uneventful floor of this run, so I'll keep it short. In the shop, we find useless space use item number 1337. Boiled Baby is 2 out of 3 conjoined and actually provides a bit of damage to enemies that get close to us, which is not unlikely with Unicorn Stomp and Mom's Heal. And Algiz with its 20 seconds of invincibility provides an insane synergy with Mom's Heals and its contact damage, which I actually decided to use immediately. If you looked at the in-game timer, you might have noticed that this Mom fight took over 1.5 minutes. I was honestly getting tired of it. Utero 1 ends up being the Unicorn Stomp show again. It's just room after room that Unicorn Stomp made me so safe with the contact damage and the temporary invincibility. A lot of these enemies, as you can see, even bosses went down really easily to my contact damage. And because there's very few holes in these stages that make spots inaccessible, this was just a brilliant showcase of how good invincibility can be if you add any passage damage on top of it. I did find one more library that actually ended up giving me a book and useless spacebar item number 42069, and later on the floor an upside down world card leading to useless space use item number 42070. Frankly, due to the nature of Womb, Utero, and Cathedral, there's not a whole lot of items we're going to be finding over the course of these 3 floors, so while I show you the highlights of these floors, allow me to make 2 quick announcements. First off, these videos take a lot of time to make, and as someone who's watched it this far, I can only assume and hope that you've enjoyed it. So if you did, I would really appreciate if you could take your time out of your day to leave a like, a comment, and a sub on the channel. Let me know how you liked this challenge and this video, and if you're excited for the next part. Second off, we're now at the end of my recorded footage of these item challenges. I have yet to beat the game with quality 0 items, We did a bit of it on my live streams on Twitch TV, which you should also check out, by the way. But I decided recently that I wanted to save the Quality Zero channel for my first ever live stream on YouTube. So next Monday, instead of posting a video about the Quality Zero challenge, I'm actually going to be streaming it live on YouTube. The stream will be starting at 3 p.m. CEST next Monday. If you don't know what that is in your local time zone, I'm going to link a website in the video description that lets you convert it. Alternatively, you can check out my channel under the live tab. There's going to be the stream announced over the course of the week, and it's going to show the starting time of the stream in your local time zone automatically. I'm super excited for this, and I hope to see a lot of you guys there. Now back to the action at hand. Mom's Heart was a boss that I wasn't too much worried about because I do have my Unicorn Stump and I have a lot of bombs which can take care of the waves she spawns as well as the boss. Again, 100 damage per bomb is massive, especially compared to the 6.1 tier damage that we have right now. And after Mom's Heart goes down, she graciously drops us a black heart that we can take with us to the Cathedral. Before I went to the next floor, I did a bit of bombing for the secret room but couldn't find anything, and ultimately decided it was more worth it to keep my bombs. And after finding useless spacebar item number 696,969, I wanted to try and get to the boss fight as quickly as possible. The Cathedral floor ended up being much tougher than the Womb and Corpse floors, in part due to my own stupidity, in other parts because the rooms are legitimately a lot harder than on the previous two floors. With half a heart to spare, RNGesus decides to send me his blessing one more time though, and in this room with 3 great chests, I just go back to almost full HP. After a bit of deliberating, I also decided it's still important to be greedy here since our run is very much not safe at all, so I just bank on getting my Unicorn Stump back up in this curse room. Unfortunately, we get another useless spacebar item. At this point I lost count of how many we've seen, but luckily the rest of the floor goes rather smoothly, and to top it all off, we actually find our super secret room just before the boss. Okay. So I gambled my life savings away, but the machine really only gives me a tick and some well wishes for the boss fight. So now it's time to quite literally tackle the Isaac fight with our Unicorn Stump, our Lemon Party Pill, and a few bombs. I cannot stress enough, once again, how important it is to keep your pickups for these tough fights at the end. Between the Lemon Party and the bombs, it was quite easy to get Isaac down into his third phase, which is infamously quite a lot easier than the first two. Nevertheless, Isaac puts up quite the fight with our damage or lack thereof, but I managed to hang on while even keeping my Polaroid proc intact. So after this fight, we're going to be faced with a chest, which is definitely going to be the toughest floor of this challenge. There's bosses in almost every room, but nevertheless, I'm hopeful. The chest starts off by giving you 4 golden chests that are guaranteed to give you items, and the fate of this run truly rests on these 4 golden chests. So we make our way to the chest floor with 2.5 hearts, and Q0 run can be saved by TM Trainer. I saw that bird's eye. Oh wait! The knife! The butt knife! Okay, butt knife, this is your oh my god, tractor beam. So I'm pretty sure nobody in the history of the Binding of Isaac has ever been this excited to make the mother transformation. There was actually a thread a few months back on Reddit that asked for Binding of Isaac related insults, and it summed it up pretty perfectly. You're just like the mom transformation, you're easy to get, but you're kinda bad and nobody really likes you. But that was about to change. But this one doesn't. In this case, it definitely doesn't. Come on. We really gotta make use of that butt knife, dude. That was a good butt knife. A butt knife well executed, if I say so myself. With the Unicorn Stump and a floor full of enemies that constantly chase you down, this was truly the most hype mom transformation I have ever seen in this game. And I can confidently say that it easily saved this run at the end. Also, a special thanks goes to Gluttony for a swift delivery of an absurd amount of recovery hearts. Aside from that, the chest was also, you know, the chest and provided us with a constant stream of more items. Black powder fits this build so beautifully as well because we're going to be up in everything's face as well, and it's very easy for us to run circles around enemies and fully use that black powder. With all these massive upgrades, we managed to run a beeline to the blue baby boss, and as you might imagine, at this point he goes down pretty easily between all the damage dealing items we have.
If you're interested in seeing the full uncut version of this run, that's going to be going up on my channel tomorrow, so make sure to check that out if you want to see everything that's happened in this run. With all that being said, I want to take the opportunity once more to thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, again, I would really appreciate if you could leave a like and a sub on it. If you have any ideas for other custom Binding of Isaac challenges, let me know them in the comments, and I hope to see you for Monday's live stream. Bye bye.